just lost a patient. Overwhelmed with emotion, she leans against the wall. Then she removes her mask and tries to shake it off. She still has 5 hours left in her shift. Her video is set to emotional music, and her camera is positioned to capture her movements perfectly. But today, the nurse finds herself under fire. Many people who've seen the video on social media are calling her self-promoting and the video cringeworthy. Now the debate is raging. Did she go too far? I had a lot of people die on my watch during the pandemic, and this type of performative garbage makes me furious, says one healthcare worker. Let me set up the camera so I can cry, goes another edgy remark. It seems to be part of a growing trend. TikTok.
My YouTube channel. So I basically want to go and just give my insights to that little video clip I just inserted there. Guys, like, if this is not a Karen act, I don't know what is. Like, literally. I think the act stated in the video by the news reporter is definitely justified. What the hospital did was very smart, because this is a lady this is a nurse actually that is responsible for patient privacy. And, you know, as most people saw on TikTok, you know, it was very self-promoting. It was very like, look at me, I'm a nurse and I'm going through this. You know, it's not the end of the world to become a nurse. Quit your job if you cannot deal with someone dying like that, you know? And with this lady here, she wanted that pity from social media. She wanted that pity from a social standpoint. And as a nurse, you know, that's the one thing that's going to violate a patient's rights and can make the hospital get a lawsuit. So it was only smart, it was only right for the hospital to definitely fire her. And I'm so glad they did that. As we know it, and I said in a previous video, women are very, very emotional. We get it. You know, you have hormones, you have the estrogen flying up and down. But when you sign up for a job, you agree to protect the patient's privacy. You agree to confidentiality, you agree to the benefits of a patient that you're going to be taking care of. One of those things includes not kind of alluding to the fact that they just passed away, right? You probably know they're dead and they're never going to come back to life and, you know, harass me or anything, but there's family members there. There's people that really cared about this patient and are probably not crying on social media right now and feeling sad about it, you know, but the fact that you feel you're so superior as a nurse to do something of that nature, it really speaks to the kind of nurses you are going to see in the hospital. Like, a lot of them are Karen. Like, there's just one word to explain it. I was talking about this with another nurse previously, and I'm like, Karens just do not know how to act. You know, someone emotionally unstable, how does it make sense? How is it ethical? How does it add up? You know, you're emotionally unstable, you're not going to care for someone else that is probably in a worse position than you, can probably not even get up, you know. And specifically in this situation, he passed away, you know, she passed away. Her patient is no longer living, and she couldn't even handle that, you know. It was like too much for her, and she felt the need to go to social media of all places. She didn't go in the break room and have a conversation with a loved one, like probably her daughter or her mom or her dad or her sister, someone that would probably want to hear her out. She didn't seek any guidance or counseling from probably a nurse manager. Would be the first person I would run and talk to if I felt really bad and can't continue the next 5 hours of my shift, you know, because I'm dealing with this patient that just passed away. You know, I would have ran straight to the nurse manager and said, oh my God, I feel pathetic, I feel sad, I feel like I could have done something better, you know, to help this patient. But when you take the law into your hand and say, you know what, I'm gonna make a video on social media and TikTok, and social media is gonna see this, you know, that's basically wrong. That's basically terrible. That's something you don't do. It's exactly what it gives off. It gives, you know, a Karen moment, you know, it gives a Karen epiphany. Like, literally, it just really, really, really gives you that kind of like self-pity moment. Like, look at me, I'm the one in as a victim right now, but the patient that just died and the family that's there grieving, you know, they're probably in a worse position. So I definitely see that. I love the fact that she got fired. Definitely, you are not allowed to just display such emotion like that. You know, if something is really up, you know, talk with your manager. Pull an employee aside and say, I feel really bad about this and this patient. Like I would express those feelings to a manager versus continuing my day emotionally bad. You know, like I'm not even going to smile when I have my next patient, or even know how to talk to my next patient without having a frown on my face or catching an attitude with the next patient, which is so wrong. So not being able to control your feelings as a nurse and what you see, I mean, it's contradicting. You don't need to be a nurse, and I think it's appropriate that she lost her position. But yeah, that was definitely too much. And you see a lot of Caucasian like literally that last clip that just played right now at the end of the video, it was a lot of Caucasian nurses that are just really emotionally unstable. And it's sad, you know, that this is someone that would be responsible for my health and my well-being. But yeah, life is life, and you know, it's just not a good thing to expose a patient. You know, what if that was you? What if you, let's say you had a diagnosis of cancer and your prognosis is only 2 months, you know, and you don't want anyone to know about this, but you have this nosy nurse here that loves being on her cell phone, that loves recording things, you know. And you see so many things in nursing school and as a nurse, like people mocking infants, people talking about people that have AIDS or something like that. It's disgusting. And it's like, God, you know, this is just why I hate working in a hospital. I love going state to state and traveling as a nurse because that's what I like. But yeah, women are just too much. And this video was definitely cringing because it's like, I don't know what a nurse means anymore. Does a nurse mean that patients don't come first? You know, is that what it means as to be a nurse? Like, I'm not putting my patient first, I'm putting myself first and thinking about that? Or, you know, and it's important for her to express herself. Let me not denounce that or make it seem like she was wrong for, you know, crying, because that's her true emotion. But the phone recording you, no, you know, and even if it recorded you, why did it end up on social media platform? You know, it's very silly and dumb. And you know, she got what she deserved. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about nurses having their phones out in, you know, a public place like a hospital, you know, where patient privacy is so important.